Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with the Sarah Jane Adventures. In a different location. Yeah. Long story short, the lights in my room don't work, so I'm in the dining room kitchen, where there are lights that work. Yeah. Last time on the Sarah Jane Adventures, we had the Lost Boy. Basically, the Slitheen returned and were still trying to destroy the Earth and stuff. And this mouse is starting to bug me. There, maybe that'll... Good. Okay. The Slitheen returned. They were trying to destroy Earth again. And they had the assistance of Mr. Smith. And Mr. Smith was basically revealed to be a bad guy. And yeah, we did end up stopping him, and it was really cool and really fun. Yeah, that's basically that. But the story did continue a bit on Doctor Who when Sarah and Luke and Mr. Smith and K9 all appeared when the Daleks and Davros threatened the Earth. And yeah, I guess that was pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode and previous episodes of the Sarah Jane Adventures, Doctor Who Classic, and Torchwood that I've reacted to. And as two quick notes, for the next few weeks, basically through the rest of Series 2 and Series 3 of the Sarah Jane Adventures, we are going to be watching 2 episodes per week. Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, we're going to be doing 2 a week on Sunday and Monday. And, yeah, that's basically to get through Series 3 to line up with the Doctor Who specials. Also, because this is the first episode of the season, of the series, you can watch this episode, my reaction to it, full length for free. So, if you go down to the description of this video or to the pinned comment, you can go and find my full-length reaction. It doesn't have any show footage. You have to bring that yourself and sync it up. But, yeah, you can try it out, see if you like it, and if you do, then you can consider supporting me on Patreon for $10 a month and get full length. So, yeah. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of the Sarah Jane Adventures. Here we go.
You see sights like that on the end of a microscope? No. You tell her for me next time you see her. Your veins run with starlight. You're going to be an astronomer.
She says chemistry is hands-on. Astronomy's just I spy.
Yeah, well...
Chemists smell of formaldehyde.
Yeah. Astronomy is a lot cooler anyway, so... Are they fighting each other? What's happening?
No, Monsieur le Duc. I have divided your forces. You're outnumbered. You don't stand a chance. See, that's the problem with you, Bonaparte. All mouth and short trousers.
What are they playing? And why on Mr. Smith?
It's our history project for the weekend.
Is
on
it?
Monday, Clyde and I have to demonstrate the different battle strategies of Bonaparte and Wellington at Waterloo.
What is this? What are these
But
controllers?
Mrs. Pittman...
What are you asking me for?
Because this isn't just a job offer, Maria. This can't just be up to me. This decision involves you, even your mum. And Sarah Jane, Luke, Clyde, all of it will be over.
Yeah.
I thought Mr. Smith said there was no alien.
Wonder what this job offer is.
He did.
My dad's been offered a new job. In America.
In America?
America?
In America.
Yeah, he applied for this place in London, then out of the blue, they offered him a job at the head office in Washington.
Huh. That's, it's a bit different from London.
How can I leave all this behind? Everything I've seen.
Nothing stays the same forever. If there's anything I've learned in my life, it's that. People always move on.
That's true.
If we go, Maria has a lot more to give up than I do.
And my little girl will be on the other side of the world.
I mean, you're a horrible person anyway, so...
I believe what Lucy saw last night were some sort of drones.
Spaceships. You're talking about spaceships here.
Come on, in this day and age, the idea of aliens shouldn't be so difficult to accept.
Yeah, the Earth was invaded by Daleks. Oh, I don't trust.
I was so worried.
I don't trust at all.
Looking for you. Not an invasion of little green men. Not this time. Goodbye.
Oh.
I wonder if, like, the Sontaran was chasing someone and this is the person.
Your imagination is...
It's got me.
What is it?
We have to get out of here right now. Back to the car.
Oh, she can recognize it.
What is it, Sarah Jane?
This is too big for us. We can't handle this. I have to contact unit.
Oh, crap.
You never wanted to call the unit before.
That's
You like the military.
pretty big.
That is a Sontaran space pod. I've seen one twice before. They only ever have one thing on their minds. Conquest.
Yeah. Ah, crap. He's a little grayer than the others.
So
Maybe I can fix what Karg has done to the professor and find out.
Put it down, female.
So it's not another alien, it is him.
I am the sole survivor of the 10th Sontaran Battle Fleet's Earth Invasion Force.
you mean we already beat you?
Yeah, the doctor did.
The Empire had a plan. We were tricked.
How?
A man they called the Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that must be quite annoying. One man destroying an entire battle fleet.
That's the doctor for you.
Doctor's my friend, Karg.
The doctor did that to you.
Did he?
I was being dispatched to Earth from the battle fleet when he destroyed the mothership.
Oh. Oh.
I lost control of my craft. The countdown will give me time to expand it with the experiments I shall perform on you.
You're gonna do experiments?
Lay a finger on him, I won't let you.
Defiance will be eliminated.
Oh, boy. Oof. God, I had to turn the mouse on really quick. Oh. She can't. No, wait. She can't be. No. You can't. With the. And the. You can't shoot. Oh, how do you get out of this one? Oh, man. He actually shot her.
Lives. She is my prize to take back to Sontar. Once Earth is destroyed, there she will pay for the Doctor's crimes.
So this is pretty, like, recent after
Maybe a Sontaran.
Sontaran's stratagem. Don't scream, just go. Just push him down the stairs. Just kick him. So many problems could be solved if you just kick him.
I mean it, Alan. It'd be weird not having you here. We get on much better as friends than we ever did as husband and wife. I'll miss you.
That implies that the two of you get along.
Of course you'll go. You live... We've got to talk this American thing through properly. Like a family.
Yeah, of course.
Barely a family anymore. Although in this episode she has been a lot better.
Mr. Smith, I need you.
I know it can be weird, but you just gotta say it.
But can they be beaten?
They must have a weakness.
Sontarans do
Oh,
not
crap.
eat food. They intake pure energy by means of a probing vent at the base of their skull. This point is their sole weakness.
What on earth is going on?
Chrissy.
Mum? What are you doing there? I think I get first dibs on the questions. Alan, what's going on?
Maria, I'm gonna have to call you back.
Well, at least you know the weakness.
Sarah Jane's gonna be...
Corner of your mouth. It always twitched when you told a fib. Didn't move at all. Come on, we've got to help our daughter!
Alright. Yay, Chrissy's in on it now.
The dish will align on schedule. and the uplink will begin.
Schedule. It's schedule.
Minutes, the 10th.
I don't think I'll ever meet anyone like you again.
You don't need to. You've got me.
Such a circumstantial, like, line. And now that only bothers her because she's gonna leave.
I'm gonna miss you so much. And Sarah Jane and Clyde.
Man, I really don't want to be stuck with Luke and Clyde.
Please.
I will crush you with my bare hands, bite size.
Ugh. That's some mountain crap right there. Just... Ugh.
Anticipate.
Yeah. He's smart.
The operating system remains fully functional.
Just like grab on the inside of his helmet, just yank him down and kick him a bunch.
We use the decimal system. We have 10 fingers. That's it. Crack the code.
Okay. I'm not sure what you just said, but okay.
I've disabled the program.
Okay, good.
Move away from the control. Activating my sleeper agent.
Aw, crap. The girl. Having Lucy do it instead.
Nothing will stop us.
Oh! The perfect shot. Oh, that was satisfying on both ends.
If we can get Mum home before she comes round, maybe we can convince her that none of this ever happened. She banged her head, had a bad dream, anything.
Your mum will have saved the world. She won't have a clue.
Believe me, it's better this way. We'd never hear the end of it.
Huh.
Maria.
If you
Go to
insist.
sleep, Mum.
Wow. You might want to keep that, actually.
Sontarans will yet cry my name in battle.
Well, they'll be back someday.
Well, I think I'd love to go to America.
Aww.
You can still visit, can't you?
You try and stop me. They've got shops the size of aircraft hangars there.
Man, I don't want to lose her, though.
Think about everything.
6 weeks later.
I have completed a further scan,
Interesting.
Sarah Jane.
Oh, everything packed?
Oh,
I just wanted to come and take one last look.
come on. I don't want to lose Maria or Alan. And they just moved in, too.
The Sontaran? What really happened with my shoe? Don't worry, I won't say anything. They deserve a new start. We all do.
Thank you.
So she does end up remembering. Interesting. And...
I'll miss her.
Aww.
Yeah, me too.
The universe isn't such a big place after all.
Hmm. Nope. Shut up. Man. We had to lose Maria. I hate that. Okay. Oh, interesting episode. You better go lie down, boy. Oh, man. Man, that just sucks. We're losing... It's not just that we're losing Maria, but we're losing Maria and Alan. I like those two. And now we're left with Luke and Clyde, the two knuckleheads of the group. Like, come on. I don't know. And it's not like Luke and Clyde are bad, but... I don't know. Alright. let's talk about this episode. The first thing I wrote down was the orbs, which later were revealed to be drones. That's interesting that they were just kind of, scouting things out and finding this telescope in order for the plan to go into action, which that's interesting. Originally I thought, okay, what if these are two separate alien things? One of them is, I guess, Sontaran, and the other one is some other alien, but that didn't end up being the case. And I also kind of thought that mostly when the professor was being controlled, I thought, well, maybe there is another alien here other than the Sontaran. Maybe the Sontaran was hunting something, and now it's possessing this professor. But again, that didn't end up being the case because it was the Sontaran just controlling this guy. So yeah. I wrote down Unit. We got a mention of Unit. That was interesting that immediately once she recognized the Sontarans, Sarah basically just said, no, we are not going to deal with this. We are not. If there is a Sontaran here, we have to call Unit. Whoa, okay. And they even pointed that out. I think Maria said, Maria pointed out, it's we've never had Unit take care of anything. We've always done this ourselves. So it is a pretty big deal when Sarah decides to call in Unit, despite the fact that she didn't call in Unit. She did end up handling it herself. So yeah. I wrote down Karg. Okay, so Karg, interesting. I like that he wasn't exactly over the top like the other Sontarans we saw on Doctor Who. So yeah, he was a bit more interesting. He definitely, you can tell that he is still just a continuation. He's still Sontaran. It does make sense what he's doing, He's trying to destroy the Earth to avenge those that were killed by the Doctor, basically. Although technically they were killed by the Doctor and Luke Radigan. So yeah. But that was interesting, and it is interesting. And it's okay, this lone survivor of the Sontarans who's trying to basically get his name out of the mud. So yeah, that did work. That was interesting. And yeah, he wasn't as I don't know, there was something different about him compared to the other Sontarans we had on Doctor Who. I will say his skin tone was a bit darker. It wasn't as, bright potatoey like the other ones. And he definitely he was more, I don't know, he was more angry, but he wasn't he wasn't too over the top, I suppose. So yeah. I wrote down sequel. So here's something I'm starting to notice about some, not all of the episodes of Sarah Jane, but occasional episodes, I guess, is that, well, and I guess it's really just one, it was only one in series 1, and, because this is the first episode of series 2, that's only one here, but occasionally it's interesting that Sarah Jane is doing sequel episodes, basically, to something that happened on Doctor Who. Here, this was a sequel to the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky. So, this all is just this guy trying to get revenge for what happened to the Sontarans, but it's not happening on Doctor Who, it's happening on the Sarah Jane adventures. Which is interesting. And then last season, we also had the Slitheen, who were trying to get revenge and destroy the Earth, trying to get revenge because, the other Slitheen basically were defeated and killed by the Doctor, but we're handling this on Sarah Jane. Now, to Sarah Jane's credit, we did have a little bit of that on Torchwood, too, because Cyberwoman was definitely, it was basically a sequel to Army of Ghosts and Doomsday with the Battle of Canary Wharf, because that fed right into that episode. The battle being the main like, this is why this is happening, because it was focused on Yanto and Lisa, who were both in the Battle of Canary Wharf. So that's also interesting. I can't remember if there was something else specifically like that. I don't think there was. I don't think so. I don't think there was another episode of Torchwood that was like, this is a follow-up to something that happened on Doctor Who. But it is interesting that that did happen on Torchwood with Cyberwoman, and now this has happened twice on Sarah Jane with Revenge of the Slitheen and now The Last Sontaran. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's going to keep going or not, but yeah. Now, with that being said, I am a little confused on the timeline of this. So, this guy escapes from the Sontaran ship being destroyed and crash lands on Earth. So, how long is it until the events of this episode take place? Because, I thought like, okay, well, is this just following, are we, a couple weeks or maybe a month after the Sontaran stratagem story from Doctor Who? Is that it? But then I thought, well, wait, that doesn't exactly make sense because, if it's a month later and Maria is leaving now, well, okay, that's even 6 weeks later. So, okay, so let's say the story takes place a month after the Sontaran stratagem, and then 6 weeks later, Maria leaves London. Because see, I'm trying to figure it out because at the end of Doctor Who Series 4, when we bring in Luke and Sarah Jane, Luke says, like, I told Clyde and Maria what's happening, and, I told Clyde to, stay in, and Maria and Alan are, they're off on a vacation or something. It was something like that, but he mentions Maria, so her moving has to, I think would have to stay, her moving would have to be after the Stolen Earth, although maybe not. If they're away, I suppose it's possible that Luke just called Maria in America and said, stay indoors, because the Daleks are attacking. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out on the timeline of that. I'm not sure if this takes place a month after the Sontaran stratagem, or if this is already after the Stolen Earth and stuff like that. I don't know. You guys can figure that out, though. Let's see. The next thing I wrote down was Chrissy. Okay. So, Chrissy, so she finds out, which is stupid, that she goes snooping around and finds out, which I guess it makes sense that this would happen eventually, but, because, it happened with Alan, it happened because Alan got in on this, and now it makes sense that Chrissy would get in on it because she is Maria's mother. So I guess eventually she would find out, but then she finds out, hits a lucky strike. Well, no, I guess because Alan talked to Mr. Smith and found out about the weakness. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. And they said like he told her, so Chrissy knew the weakness and then just thwacked the Sontaran with her heel, basically. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And then I do like the idea that they sort of try to make it up like, it's kind of, this is almost like, the superhero identity. Like we're trying to keep this secret and stuff like that. So we do this thing where it's like, oh, here's this kind of a goofy way of doing this, but it's a way of protecting the secret with pretty much keeping her unconscious until they get back to their home, and then making up a story, and then her believing that she dreamed it all. But that being said, she did still figure it out. She figured out that all of that was real. All the stuff with the Sontaran was real, and she did kind of confront Sarah Jane about it. So yeah, I don't know. But it doesn't even matter now because I imagine she's not going to be part of the plot. I mean, she didn't want anything to do with Sarah Jane at all during this series, and now she has no reason to be involved with all this because now Alan and Maria are gone. And that leads to the final thing, the job offer in America. So that's interesting. So Alan applied for a job in London, and they decided to offer him the job of, they said like some sort of manager in Washington. Now I do wonder, does that mean Washington the state or Washington D.C.? When you just say Washington, you generally mention Washington D.C. If you say Washington the state, you generally say a city. So I assumed that them just saying like, well, he got a job offer. They wanted to make him a manager, or they wanted to make him like CEO or something. I don't remember what they said, but they wanted to give him the job in Washington. And it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. Interesting that they would do that. Like you wouldn't think that they would do that. Why would they get this guy from Britain, from London, to like be a CEO or a manager or whatever in Washington? It's like, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure we would hire an American first. It's kind of America's whole thing. I'm sure if this was in the UK, if you reverse the situation, is the UK really going to immediately offer the job to an American? I don't know. I guess that's a weird thing to harp on, but it's like, well, that's interesting. It's like, if he just said he got a job in America, that would be one thing. But the fact that they want him to immediately be a manager, it's like, okay, that's interesting. So yeah. And so that is an interesting way of doing it. It's like, it's not even like moving across the country. It's moving to another country altogether. So yeah, and that just sucks that we lost Maria and Alan. The fact that it's both of them, the fact that it's Maria and Alan, and they, like, aside from Sarah Jane herself, they are like the best characters. I feel like of the three companions, Maria was like the most useful. Clyde's just a screwball, and Luke is helpful. He does have his moments, but at the same time, it's like, he's still, I don't know. It's not that I don't like Luke. It's just that he's not, I don't know. He's not as interesting, I guess. And then Alan, I don't know. I just like Alan. Alan's fun. He's a good man. He's trying to provide for his family, but that's why he took the job, because it would be amazing. And that clock is going off now. So yeah. So sucks that we have to lose Alan and Maria, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with that. Are we going to get someone new? God, I hope not. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things. I guess it'll be like it's like on Doctor Who when we have to get a new companion, when we got Martha or we got Donna, new companions. It's like, well, but Rose but Martha. It's like, I don't know. I think it's the fact that we're losing two people. It's not just one, we're losing both. And it's like, and the fact that we're stuck with Luke and Clyde, I think that's it. And again, it's not that I don't like Luke and Clyde, it's just that we're stuck with these two. It's these two instead of Alan and Maria. So yeah. It is a bit different from when we change companions on Doctor Who, but still. Yeah, so that's basically it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Good episode overall. Gonna miss Maria and Alan, but life moves on. We've changed companions before. We'll do it again. But yeah. So yeah, and just another reminder, we are doing 2 episodes a week of Sarah Jane for a while. So tune in tomorrow for episode 2 of season 2. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Sarah Jane Adventures reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.